24, The Wake, Chapter 25, Final Lullaby. Good morning, Grace. You're up early? Couldn't sleep? Not really. I kept waking up every hour or so. Eventually, I just gave up, and I heard you moving around down here, so I'd gladly accept your company while I clean. Thank you. They're back. We're back, Innkeeper. Welcome back, adventurers. You're practically beaming, Fable. That's just the sun. Have you been outside today? The good weather seemed antithetical to my worrying. Ha. Mind if I set down my sword, or will that make you worry more? Please, feel free. I'm hesitant to ask, but your smiles seem to indicate there's good news to be told. It's safe to say we have many more opportunities to try your drinks. And everyone made it back safe and sound? Yes. We're all okay. Actually, Hex and Voy are outside safe and sound. We should probably put a stop to their antics soon. Voy might explode for real if Hex keeps up his teasing. Innkeeper, I'll go. No need to wait around any longer. Thank you. Someone has to go to poor Voy's rescue. Someone who's ready to give Hex a taste of his own medicine? Perhaps. For now, I just want to tackle my brother into a hug. I'm so glad to see you all safe, everyone. Let's catch up later. I believe victory drinks are in order? Perhaps later, when I've calmed down a bit more. I'll wait until the feast. Feast? I think that's what people do after saving the world, no? We gotta celebrate. Don't say you're pulling out, Innkeep. I'd appreciate a drink. Anything in particular you're craving? Something soft, please. Like a shield that protects you from harm, or a hug that makes you feel safe. Got it. Something with a shield. Oh, here, we'll do the steel tonic, which I believe goes with... Which one did I give that with? Yeah, with a tooth. So we give it an extra strength. Dex is fine, and then we just load it up on some defense. Thank you, Andu. A mighty drink for a mighty good friend. And made by a mighty good innkeeper. This is just what I needed, thanks. Alright, I believe it's time for my story. It'll be the best you've heard from me yet. Our tale begins not far from here, in the capital with the other group. They're safe, the Roots and the people. Local government didn't believe them about the danger, so it was a close call. But it sounded like they got everyone out in time. Then all that was left was kicking some undead ass. Kyle said they had a lot of help too, like he and Countess Evelyn decimated a whole section of the undead army all by themselves. Then Banshee and the Mary Morgan answered Baya's call and scared some of the skeletons to dust. A powerful wizard and a bunch of familiars and former familiars showed up with claws and fire at the ready. Even Neil's parents showed up with a group of retired adventurers from Borkham. And with Scully's union for the Undead Alliance at the ready, not all of them had to be killed. Scully said many of Quasar's undead creatures deserted and joined our side. Turns out Quasar managed to turn the werewolf settlement against us, though. Seems like he offered Uncle Dragon a cure, and Dragon took his propaganda to the rest of them. Ray said they were a hassle. Old expletive. Ain't going to forgive this one. Sounds eventful, but the team won? They won. Not to toot our own horn, but so did we. It was exhilarating and also exhausting. Grace managed to teleport us exactly where we needed to go. The Astral Sea was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Tia had told me so much about it, but that didn't prepare me for how mesmerizing it was. On one side, were the sprawling nebulas of Cassiopeia, and on the other, a portal of swirling dark blood leading back to the aperture. Below our feet, the ancient blood of the first vampire stained a river of the Astral Sea a deep red. It would lead us directly to Quasar and an undead Tia. But the water was deep, too deep for us to wade through. And there weren't exactly any boats around. So Clay called out to the sun humpback whale for help. And it showed up in a shower of stardust and allowed us to ride on its back. Once we got closer, we didn't have to wait very long before being bombarded by spells. I made sure to answer with my own volley of arrows blazing with dragon fire. Still, the fight was tough. Having the sun whale there definitely helped, even though Quasar banished it whenever it got too close. Both Quasar and Tia barely gave us any time to breathe. Seeing her again, fighting for everything she used to despise, made me so angry. I let my fury guide me and managed to lead her away from Quasar. Her movement was less graceful and undeath, and it looked like the water of the Astral Sea was clinging to her legs. I don't know what it was in the end, our voices calling out to her, being so close to Cassiopeia. But right before her weapon could swing down once more, instead of pain, I felt her healing magic, and she smiled. She managed to shake off Quasar's control to help her friends. Meanwhile, we were battling Quasar. Fable and I were leading the charge. I got in his face as much as possible, while Fable swooped in anytime things got dicey with some well-shot arrows. I was barely able to keep track of Fable's position with their movement speed, but I didn't need to. Knew they'd have my back. Hex kept Quasar from concentrating on any annoying spell for too long with a barrage of fireballs? You guessed it. And Void didn't hesitate to heal and buff us. Never really understand music fanatics, but after that, I might have to check out one of his shows. Eventually, the tide of battle started turning in our favor. While we had each other's backup, Quasar was alone. And he was starting to get real tired. That was our opportunity. I called on the flame deep inside me and let several pillars of dragon fire cut off any escape routes. I realized what Fable was trying to do. Suddenly, all the doubt about worthiness that had been eating at me during the fight disappeared. I wasn't doing this for honor or to gain the dragon's favor. Glory laughs in the face of legacy. Worthiness was never something that could be given to me. It was something for me to grasp. All I had to do was walk forward and protect my people. And at that moment, I did. My slash struck true. Quasar looked neither enraged nor shocked, just tired. Then he dropped to the ground and stayed down. I felt a bit sad for him. I didn't. Quasar made his choices, whether we like it or not. And we earned that victory. We did. All we could do was stare at the battlefield, barely realizing it was over, when we heard Clay crying. We turned to see him and Tia hugging as her body started to dissolve in bright speckles of starlight. The light eventually gathered in a bright sphere above our heads. Then it slowly rose in the dark distance, where it became brighter and brighter. She became a star. I couldn't believe it. My Tia became a star. And she won't be alone up there. Together, her and the sun whale will guide all who are lost through the night. Knowing that, it might give me the strength to live on like she would have wanted. Trust me, even if it feels impossible. One day, the sun will rise and the happiness she gave you will outweigh the grief. I look forward to that day, innkeeper. Until then, I'll just keep on trying. There are still so many wonders in this world. With her watching over me, I want to see them all. And one day, I might get to tell her about them. That sounds wonderful. I think all of us feel a little better with her up there. Couldn't agree more. So that means everyone should be able to get here sometime soon then. Huh? For the feast? Ha. Didn't think you'd actually agree. I can't think of a better way to spend an evening than celebrating with all of my friends. Maybe even tonight? We'll see when everyone has had their rest. We have time now, thanks to you all. I won't run out of drinks as long as you don't run out of stories. And you'll have to tell this epic tale a few more times before I grow tired of it. I'd like nothing more than that, innkeeper.
There's a calling on the wind beneath the talk of the keep. I've heard the tale, set the sails, now it's time for me to leave. But my feet stay at the door, unsure of what's ahead. It's a path I haven't taken, steps I've never tread. But if I get lost, I know I can return. There's a drink awaiting me at the tavern. Oh, if I get lost, I know I can return. There's a drink awaiting me at the tavern. Made of glass, past the forms of sleeping dragons. No day is like the last, never know what will happen. I was drowning in my doubt, but I learned to swim the deep. A chasm of fear, but I still took the leap. And if I get lost, I know I can return. There's a drink awaiting me at the tavern. Oh, if I get lost, I know I can return. There's a drink awaiting me at the tavern. There's a calling on the wind dragging me back home. My quest has led me far, now it's time to leave the road. I'll pull up a chair, rest this weary heart, and I'll tell my story from the start. There's a drink awaiting me at the tavern.